So who made that decision to go to bars and tone? Will the New York Times or Washington Post or the AP, will they actually report on Joe Biden's obvious struggles, or are these outlets just a propaganda wing for the Democratic Party, which I've been telling you they are for a long time? The answer is obvious. Now, in the meantime, Americans deserve to know. You, the American people, have a right to know who's really in charge here. Because if you're looking at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, well, the lights are on. They're always on. But it appears tonight we can report that nobody really seems to be at home. Here with reaction, author of the bestseller Firebrand, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, Fox News contributor Dan Bongino. Here's the question. Now, this new book comes out, Lucky. Dan Bongino, we'll start with you tonight. This new book comes out, and it says the strategy of the Biden campaign was to keep the crazy uncle hidden in the basement. That was their strategy. The media mob, we know, big tech, they protected him. And they even went on the attack for him against all things Donald Trump. Now the question is, if he is struggling cognitively, do we have a right to know? And is it a legitimate question to ask, who knew what and when? And why didn't you tell the American people?
Well, hell yeah, it's a legitimate question. I mean, it's a national security concern. I mean, if we have a cognitively impaired president of the United States who is a fingertip away from the nuclear codes, I mean, is that not the most important question? Is there another question that matters right now? I mean, it is the critical question. Couple things on this I just want to make points on here. Number one, the media knew. So anybody telling you during the campaign that people in the media were unaware of the condition of Joe Biden because it's worse than you know, they're lying to you. So let's throw that out of there. And there's a couple indicators of how bad things are. I'll just get to one of them now. Did you notice, Sean, given my prior line of work, I can, sense patterns in presidencies. I worked for 3 of them. You notice there's no OTRs, off the record movements, with Joe Biden, or relatively few. In other words, off-the-record movements are unscripted movements where they just go out and, Obama'd pop in a Five Guys and order a burger. You notice you don't see many of those with Biden? Why do you think that is? Because Biden doesn't like burgers? No, it's because they need everything scripted all the time, because God forbid he goes off script and gets asked a question. He doesn't have the capacity to answer it, or they don't trust him to.
Matt Gaetz, I've never known you as anything other than a firebrand. What's your take on all of this?
Dan mentioned the nuclear codes. It's worth noting that Democrats on the House Armed Services Committees have actually sought to democratize those codes so that Joe Biden would have the authority to be able to launch a first strike in his current condition. And look, Biden is our president. We want him to be well. We hope he's well. But we also have eyes. I remember the 2012 campaign, they would say, fired up, ready for Joe. Now it's more like ready for nap time. I mean, if Donald Trump was the gold standard of presidencies, Joe Biden is the silver alert of presidencies. And there's a lot of weird news coming out of this White House.
I mean, I think we might be down
you saw what happened to the Biden dogs. They sent the Biden family dogs back to Delaware, and if that's what they'll do to the dogs, imagine what they'll do to Joe Biden. So, Joe, if they offer to take you to a farm back in Wilmington, don't go. They might not mean it.
The thing is it's painful to watch. And I know people, I actually defended, by the way, I did not want the family dog, member of the family, euthanized. I went on the record last night with that. Look, it's painful to see. I'm just being blunt, Dan Bongino. I don't take any joy.
Yeah.
This is the president of the United States of America here, but this is also nuclear codes. This is the leader of the free world. This is our commander-in-chief. And I'm hoping that it's nothing. Now, James Clyburn was on with Neil Cavuto yesterday and actually suggested, well, he may have an issue with stuttering. The only problem is he didn't have it in 2016 or 2012.
Yeah.
And when did this problem start to emerge? So I don't like the fact that other people would put him in that position. And secondly, on the other hand, I don't like our enemies, and we have plenty of them, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, to start, thinking that we are, as a country, being led by somebody that is struggling like this.
Yes to number one. There's nothing funny about this. This is you're looking at a tragedy in lifetime. Number one. Number two, to reiterate, my prior point. Yes, this is a national security issue. Let me add China, Russia, our enemies. Let me add ISIS, Al Qaeda, and others. You think they're not watching this? The man's clearly collapsing, Sean. And the worst part about this is these conditions, these cognitive conditions, deteriorate in an exponential, not arithmetic fashion. In other words, it gets bad really, really fast. We're only 2 months in. How's he going to last another 3 years plus? We're only 2 months in.
I want American presidents to succeed. Socialism will fail, but I want American presidents strong and successful. That's it, for the sake of the country. Thank you both. Dan Bongino, Matt Gaetz.
This is Congressman Matt Gaetz. If you liked that video, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and join us on our daily podcast, Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz, on your favorite podcast listening platform.